Coast to Coast Pick 5. $1 minimum. Player-friendly 15% takeout. Coast to Coast Pick 5.
Hey everybody, Alexa Zepp here with the Daily Racing Form, and while the most anticipated racing event this first Saturday in May will obviously be the Kentucky Derby, remember there's still lots of racing happening all over the country, including at Gulfstream and Santa Anita. So we're going to preview the Coast to Coast Pick 5. This is an awesome special wager that our friends over at First Racing put together every Saturday and Sunday. It connects 5 races across Gulfstream and Santa Anita. It has a $1 minimum and a 15% takeout, so it's really player friendly. It produces great payouts, and we here at DRF provide free past performances for every race in the sequence. So let's dig in. The first leg of the wager is Gulfstream Race 9. It's a claiming race for 4-year-olds and up, going a mile and a 16th on the turf. I like the number 3, Grand Journey. This is a 9-year-old gelding who's won nearly a third of his lifetime starts, earning over $300,000. He's been the favorite in his last 2 performances and won one by a neck and lost one by about a half a length. He was claimed 2 back in what my opinion was a really good claim. He's still running high 70, low 80 buyers and should be able to set an uncontested pace in here and stick around for the win. If he were to get caught, I think it would be by the number 4, Valentine Bug, who admittedly hasn't found the winner's circles since last July, but has been improving continually and ran almost his lifetime best last out at Gulfstream, going a mile on the turf. So being a closer, the added distance should help, and this should also be an easier field that he's facing. The second leg of the wager is Santa Anita Race 4. It's a maiden claiming race for Calbreds, 3, 4, and 5 years old, going 5.5 on the dirt. I like the number 1, Antonsen. So being the lone speed in a 5.5 furlong race is always a good thing, and that's what he's here today. So his lifetime best 2 back was at the same distance, track, and level. He fits here. I'll also throw in a likely price here with the number 1, Squared Oro. Take a look at the head-on replay of his break last out. This was his debut, and he was bounced around like a pinball at the start and then had no room to run. So this is the same race condition, so I imagine the connections just wanted to throw that performance out and have a redo. He has a decent Tomlinson rating in here and is also coming off some really fast works, including a bullet work on Monday where he was best of 43. The third leg in the wager is Santa Anita Race 5. It's a maiden claiming for fillies 3, 4, 5 years old, going a mile on the turf. I like the number 1, No Time for Squalls. She's dropping from maiden special weight to maiden claiming ranks, and her trainer Mark Glatt wins at an astounding 40% of the time with over a $3 ROI when he makes that move. She is one of the top buyers in the field at 62 and is stretching out for the first time, which makes sense with her closing running style. Her pedigree ranking on Time From US for turf routes is a 100 out of 100, so you really can't get any better than that. The number 6, OK Rose, will need to improve in her 3-year-old debut, but has had 6 months to develop and grow. Peter Urton is shaking a lot of things up here, and any one of them could make the difference. She'll have first-time Lasix, first time dropping from maiden special weight to maiden claiming, first time out as a 3-year-old, first time with Hernandez aboard, who wins 38% of the time when paired up with Urton. The number 8, Orderly Transition. She's the only 5-year-old in here running amongst 3-year-olds. She's coming off 3 bullet works, 5 furlongs in a minute flat, 4 and 46, and 4 and 47. This will be her second time going long and her first time going long on the turf, but her mom was a stakes winner and both of her wins were going a mile or more on the turf. The fourth leg in the sequence is Gulfstream Race 11, the English Channel Stakes, going a mile on the turf for 3-year-olds. I like the number 2, Please Advise. This race will be his 3-year-old debut, and his last race was last November in the Atlantic Beach Stakes, which he won with his lifetime best buyer of 85. That was 6 furlongs, so it's a stretch out here going a mile. It's a bit of an ask coming off a 6-month layoff with that added distance, but George Weaver is 22% off the layoff and 21% in both sprint to route as well as stakes races. So nice ROIs across all 3 of those stats as well. The number 3, Salvatore Prince, ran a really great performance last out in the Cutler Bay Stakes. Definitely seemed to like the move to grass, and I think the added half furlong will benefit his running style in here. D'Angelo has similarly strong stats to Weaver when it comes to layoffs and stakes races. And the number 9, Dancing Groom, he's also entered on the Derby card in the Grade 2 American Oaks, but he drew an alternate in there, so I imagine they won't ship up for the chance to draw in that he'll be running in this spot. And I really hope he runs here because that spot at Churchill would just be too tough for him once again. You know, he's a decent horse, but has been running over his head with his last 5 starts being the Jeff Ruby Stakes, the Fountain of Youth, the Holy Bull, the Kentucky Jockey Club, and the Champagne. So I understand they stepped him up after his maiden win at Saratoga. It made sense, but since then he's shown us he needs a class relief. So I actually think he fits really nicely here. He should be the late pace of the race, and he should have a fast pace to run into. The last leg of the sequence is Santa Anita Race 7. It's the feature at Santa Anita on their card this Saturday. It's the Grade 2 Charles Whittingham Stakes for 4-year-olds and up, going up 1.25 miles downhill on the turf. It's a really talented field in here, including the defending champion of this race, number 1, Awfully Naughty, and number 5, Planetario, which these two are my 2 selections in here. Now, if you're looking to cut down the price of this ticket, I would consider singling Planetario. This year, he's had 2 really great starts. In the Grade 3 San Luis Rey, the Grade 3 San Marcos. He got second in both of those to miss the cut, but luckily for him, Miss the Cut is not running in here today. He ran a few weeks ago in the Grade 2 Elkhorn at Keeneland and was actually my top pick that day and got second to Silver Knot. But Planetario is coming in off a fast 3:36 bullet work and should be flying late. And like I said earlier, I'll also be using the defending champion, the number 1, Awfully Naughty. First of all, as a breeder and an owner, I love seeing these success stories where the horse was purchased for $4,000 and has made over $400,000 in lifetime's earnings. He won this race last year from off the pace with a 97 buyer and then won the San Luis Rey Stakes, but didn't have a whole lot of success in his attempts the rest of the year in Grade 2 company. He came back in March after a long layoff in the San Luis Rey and got 3rd out of 5 behind Miss the Cut and Planetario. But he did post a 94 buyer that race, so it looks like he's back on form, and I wouldn't be surprised if he improves off that effort again this Saturday. So when we put it all together, the ticket costs $72. We only have, I think, 12 horses in here, so not a whole lot of horses for that ticket cost. But remember, this $1 minimum does increase the cost of the ticket, but it also increases the reward, as these really do have really great payouts. So good luck this weekend with your Coast to Coast Pick 5, and remember to access your free DRF past performances for every race in the sequence.